transmigrated into the Douluo Continent. I awakened the blue-silver grass. I also possess a second martial soul. Yet, the moment he stepped into Shrek Academy with his Tang Sec techniques, he could suppress Zhao Wuji with his hidden weapons. As for me, I was picked up by Flender 6 years ago. Despite being at level 31, I have always been seen by everyone as nothing more than a mere support who can only heal. The day the protagonist group finally gathered, watching Tang San show off all over the arena. A system prompt suddenly echoed in my ears. That was when I realized my life as a demonic dragon had finally begun. At this moment, on the Shrek Academy training grounds, Zhao Wuji was being pummeled by Tang San, his clothes tattered and flying. Hidden weapons like throwing knives and silver needles were raining down upon Zhao Wuji's face. I leaned against the trunk of a tree by the field, my purple hair slightly disheveled by the wind, squinting my eyes, watching with great relish. I have to admit, the Tang Sec's hidden weapons truly have some substance. Even though Zhao Wuji was clearly suppressing his cultivation level to test them, he was still overwhelmed by Tang San's barrage of techniques. Ning Rongrong and Jujuking, standing nearby, were already dumbfounded. Yet, the more I watched, the more bitter I felt. We are both transmigrators. But Tang San arrived with his past life's cultivation arts and a mind full of hidden weapon blueprints. I accidentally ended up in the Douluo Continent 12 years ago, awakened twin martial souls at age 6. One is blue-silver grass. The other is an evil fire demon snake. Innate soul power at level 5. Sounds quite impressive, doesn't it? But the reality is, ever since Ma Hongjun and I were brought back to Shrek by Flender, I've spent these 6 years almost exclusively cultivating the blue-silver grass. I'm a level 31 spirit master with blue-silver grass, with 1 yellow and 2 purple spirit rings. The thing I do most often at the academy is healing Daimubai and the others, restoring their stamina, and cleaning up their messes. As for my second martial soul, the evil fire demon snake, because it lacks spirit rings, and because the evil fire is such a nuisance, it's basically just for show. I let out a sigh. Different people, different fates. Why is it that I don't have a system? No sooner had the thought crossed my mind, clear notification exploded within my consciousness. Ding, system successfully loaded. This system is known as the Heroine Blessing Harvest System. I bolted upright from beneath the tree in a single motion. A pale blue holographic screen unfurled before my eyes. Newbie gift pack has been issued. Please claim it shortly. The system rules are as follows. The system can detect the heroine's favorability toward the host. Whenever a heroine's favorability toward the host reaches its maximum value, the host will receive a random one of the 12 talismans of the demon sorcerer, along with additional rewards. The talisman's abilities only take effect on the exclusive heroine. Upon successfully capturing a heroine, the host will receive additional rewards. The rewards will evolve in accordance with the host's growing strength. My smile froze on my face. I can't even use the talismans myself. The horse talisman, the dog talisman, the dragon talisman, and doesn't that mean all these heaven-defying abilities will just belong to others? Having something is better than having nothing at all. The bonus rewards should provide me with something useful. I take a deep breath. I reach out and tap on the newbie gift pack. Successfully opened. Rewards obtained. 1 instance of blue-silver grass martial soul bloodline evolution. 1 instance of Evil Fire Phoenix Snake Martial Soul Bloodline Evolution. 3 God-given Spirit Rings. 1 free selection of an external spirit bone. Forced activation of dual martial souls. Simultaneous usage authorization. Description of the god. Spirit ring. This spirit ring will automatically match the martial soul's attributes, bestowing the most compatible spirit ability. The age of the spirit ring will increase according to the host's physical constitution. I stared at those lines of text. My breathing grew heavier by the second. Martial Soul Evolution Spirit Ring. Spirit bones can even forcibly resolve the trouble of not being able to use twin martial souls simultaneously. Who was just complaining that the system was useless? At this moment, I don't even find Tang San's hidden weapons impressive anymore. Once a true powerhouse makes a move, those hidden weapons can only bully low-level spirit masters. However, Martial Soul Evolution, God-bestowed spirit rings, and external spirit bones are on a completely different level. The moment my fingertip hovered over the button, I suddenly calmed down. I absolutely cannot claim it right now. Tang Hao's massive hammer is still. Who knows where he's lurking, keeping a close eye on Tang San. If my blue-silver grass bloodline evolves, and it truly starts transforming into the blue-silver emperor, would that guy jump out on the spot and mistake me for some unexpected remnant of a Yin's bloodline? Good things should be claimed in secret when no one is around. On the other side, the battle between Tang San and Zhao Wuji has also concluded. The training ground is littered with hidden weapons. Zhao Wuji's clothes were torn in a few places. His complexion was also not very good. Although there were no dragon beard needles this time, he wasn't as disheveled as he originally was. But the methods Tang San displayed were enough to everyone present. Zhao Wuji stared at Tang San, his brows furrowed. Why does your blue silver gross possess poison and entanglement abilities? Why would this kind of ability be cultivated as if it were a spirit skill? A hint of pride flickered in Tang San's eyes. This is the path my teacher devised for me. He is a renowned master of theory in the spirit master world. If it weren't for my teacher, my blue silver gross would still be nothing more than a trash spirit. It was he who gave it a new lease on life. Zhao Wuji listened for a moment, then waved his hand impatiently. Enough, I didn't ask you all that. I almost burst out laughing. Tang San can't go to sentences without mentioning the grandmother. It was enough to make Zhao Wuji's head steam with frustration. Poison attribute binding? It is indeed troublesome for low-level spirit masters to be parasitized, but I've been cultivating right under his nose for 6 years. He knows better than anyone that the blue silver gross doesn't necessarily have to follow Tang San's path. Sure enough, Zhao Wuji turned his head and shouted at me. Spirit Eye Kid, time to get to work. Hurry up and come over here to heal me. I'm coming. I'll focus my mind. I walked over slowly. As soon as I got close, Ning Rongrong leaned in. She blinked, sizing me up. Her tone was light and breezy. I was wondering why you look so fair and refined. So you're a healing spirit master after all. She must have seen me when she registered earlier. I suppose this face of mine is decent enough to look at. He was clearly more familiar with me than with the others. I offered a faint smile. Do you all require healing as well? My spirit skill can also restore stamina. That would be wonderful. Ning Rongrong's eyes lit up. Let me see what effects your skill has. I opened my right palm. A small azure blue blade of grass emerged from the center of my palm. Unlike Tang San's version, which carries a poisonous attribute and is darker in color, unlike the vine-like blue silver gross. My blue silver gross is deep azure throughout, with faint silver veins shimmering upon its surface. As it sways ever so gently, a soft aura of life radiates like a blue halo. Tang San's expression shifted instantly. Your martial soul is also blue silver gross? I cast a glance at him. Aren't blue silver gross spirit masters quite common on this continent? Is there a problem? I ignored him and moved on, turning my attention to Ning Rongrong. Give me your hand. Ning Rongrong obediently extended her wrist. Beneath my feet, 1 yellow and 2 purple spirit rings ascended. The blue silver gross in my palm coiled around her wrist, guided by my spirit power. First spirit ability, Tidal Life Force. A gentle azure light began to glow. Waves of life energy surged into her body through the blades of grass. Ning Rongrong was caught off guard. Her shoulders trembled slightly. A flush instantly crept across her cheek. He hurriedly covered his mouth. His eyes were filled with panic. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I held back my laughter. It's all right. My life energy is quite potent. It's normal to feel a bit overwhelmed the first time you come into contact with it. Everyone's attention was drawn to this blue silver gross capable of healing. No one even noticed the spirit ring configuration. Under my feet, 1 yellow and 2 purple at first. Ning Rongrong's stamina recovered quickly, and her complexion turned rosy again. Jujuking stood by the side, her face cold and impassive. Yet her eyes clearly betrayed a hint of hesitation. She had also been in battle just moments ago. My stamina is quite depleted. I looked toward him. If you also wish to restore your stamina, then extend your wrist. Jujuking frowns slightly, tentatively extending her wrist. I don't need much. Just a little healing will suffice. I nod, controlling my blue silver gross to wrap around her. Second spirit ability, Tide of Life. The purple spirit ring lit up. A life force even more surging than before poured into his body through the blue silver gross. Jujuking's body went limp uncontrollably. She immediately raised her hand to cover her mouth, forcing the sound back down, though the tips of her ears turned noticeably red. That's enough. There's no need for so much. I withdrew my spirit power at the right moment. The stamina and soul power of both girls were rapidly restored. I took the initiative to give them an out. All right, you to go to the side and rest. Once the assessment is over, I'll take you to the dormitory area. Ning Rongrong and Jujuking exchanged glances. Both felt a bit uneasy. In the end, they retreated together to the edge of the training ground. Only then did I turn my gaze toward Zhao Wuji. I separated a blade of blue silver gross from my palm and handed it to him. Hold it yourself and absorb it. I'll be taking my leave now. Zhao Wuji's face darkened. Yet, he still accepted it. Tang San, however, stared with wide, fixed eyes to think that the separated grass blades could still retain their healing properties. His gaze upon me suddenly turned scorching hot. Could you please heal Ziwu and me as well? I originally intended to refuse, but recalling that Ziwu is also one of the main heroines, I separated a grass blade and handed it to him. Hold it in your palm to absorb the healing energy within. Tang San took the blade of grass. I looked toward the unconscious Ziwu. As for your sister, I need to wrap my blue-silver grass around her wrist. Is that all right? Tang San's expression stiffened instantly. The blue-silver grass relayed the tactile sensation. The blade of grass coiled around Ziwu's wrist. In a way, it felt as if I were holding her hand myself. Tang San remained silent for 2 or 3 seconds. I managed to speak with great difficulty. Fine, but be careful. I nodded as my blue-silver grass gently coiled around Ziwu's right hand. Tang San's eyes were fixed intently upon us. I couldn't be bothered with his gaze. Third soul skill. Great tidal wave of life. A surge of life force, more torrential than the previous 2 times, was forcibly poured into Ziwu's unconscious body. The blue-silver grass connecting us erupted with a brilliant azure light. Ning Rongrong tensed up at the sight. Can Ziwu handle it? Ju Juking stared intently at the blue radiance. She is currently in a coma. There shouldn't be any violent reactions, right? Time slipped away, second by second. The look of agony on Ziwu's face began to soften. Her body had, in fact, already returned to its peak state, yet under the constant cleansing of the life energy. That intense sensation of comfort left her. Subconsciously believing I was still in a dream, I frowned slightly, deliberately increasing my output of soul power. Ziwu murmured gradually, "Is this a dream?" It must be a dream, right? The next instant, he finally awoke from his coma, only to be jolted by the surging tide of life force coursing through his body, causing him to tremble. A high-pitched cry pierced through the training ground. Everyone froze in their tracks. Tang San snapped his head up. Ning Rongrong and Ju Juking gripped each other's hands tightly. I immediately severed my soul power flow, retracting my blue-silver grass, putting on the most innocent expression imaginable. I'm just a healing-type soul master. Who could have guessed Ziwu would wake up so suddenly? By dusk, the entire Shrek Academy was in an uproar, disturbed by the commotion echoing from the back mountain. Brother, please, let me explain. I truly thought I was dreaming at that moment. Stop it. I told you to stop it. The voices of Tang San and Ziwu could be heard, all the way to the dorms, dozens of meters away. Inside the girls' dormitory, Ning Rongrong and Ju Juking exchanged glances, their eyes filled with an indescribable complexity. Inside the boys' dormitory, Daimu Bai, Ma Hangjun, and Oscar all turned their gazes toward me in unison. Daimu Bai held his forehead. Just look at what you've done. Do you have any idea how many people you've hurt without even realizing it? I told you long ago. The life energy of your blue-silver grass is far too overbearing. Who could possibly withstand that? Ma Hangjun chimed in as well. Exactly. Tang San is covered in hidden weapons around his waist. You'd better be careful lately. Oscar sighed. Who can understand the plight of us support-type spirit masters? Even healing others can land me in trouble. Isn't this just a classic case of patients causing a scene at the infirmary? I just thought the healing effect wasn't. I wanted to provide a bit more. They've known me for many years. Subconsciously, they all side with me. Daimu Bai said solemnly, Ling Yan. Don't live alone for the time being. Why don't you move in with me and Fatty? I'm afraid Tang San might ambush you in the middle of the night. Ma Hangjun nodded hurriedly. Exactly. You're just a support-type spirit master with no combat power. And your second martial soul doesn't even have any spirit traits yet. If that really corners you, you're going to suffer a lot. Oscar's face fell. The way you guys put it, I'm actually scared to share a room with Tang San now, watching them. My heart warms, yet He offered a faint smile and slowly straightened his posture. Thank you all for your concern, but I will not back down. I merely fulfilled the duty of a healing spirit master. If I were to retreat this time, it would be tantamount to admitting my guilt. Ask yourselves honestly, was I truly in the wrong? My conscience is clear. If Tang San truly wishes to seek his revenge on me, let him come. Daima Bai's gaze suddenly shifted. As a prince of the Douluo Empire, isn't the very reason he fled to Shrek because he lacked the courage to face the cruel rules of the royal family? He suddenly stood up. Ling Yan, I've got your back. If Tang San dares to lay a hand on you, I will use the power of the Douluo royal family to suppress him. True brotherhood is held in the heart. The 4 of them stacked their hands firmly together. After nightfall, I returned to my small room and locked the door. I let out a long, weary sigh. I pulled up the system interface. Now that no one is around, once I claim my rewards, why would I fear retaliation from a mere nobody? The blue-silver gross bloodline evolution must remain untouched Tang Hao poses too great a risk. Therefore, I shall start with the evil fire phoenix system. Snake. Claim the martial soul evolution for the evil fire phoenix Please snake. Select an evolution path. 1. Evolve evil fire into flame 2. Python. Evolve into evil fire demon dragon. 3. Add a random attribute. I stared at the second option. My eyes lit up instantly. Evolving from a serpent into a dragon. Is there even a choice to be made? Potential is everything. I choose 2. A surge of energy drifted from the light screen and poured into my body. Dark purple flames erupted from behind me. The phantom, once resembling a giant python, was reshaped inch by inch. A minute later, a creature entirely wreathed in dark purple flames. A colossal dragon phantom slowly unfurled within the room, with dragon wings upon its twin back, horns crowning its head. The evil fire phoenix dragon. From this moment on, my second martial soul is enough to rival the blue lightning on tyrant the same dragon. Level as a top-tier martial soul like the clear sky hammer. With a mere thought, evil fire demon dragon, martial soul raging avatar. Flames engulfed my entire body. After 6 years of playing the minor support role, I have finally touched the threshold of a battle spirit master. Next, it is time to absorb the God-given 3 of them in total. I retrieved the first golden orb of light. The very moment it merged into my meridians, spirit ring rose from beneath his feet. First spirit ability. Upon activating Dragon Fist, flames engulf both fists. Attack power and attack speed are significantly increased. Every strike carries the power of a fiery explosion. A textbook Saw-type spirit ability perfect. I immediately set out to absorb the remaining 2. To my surprise, once all 3 spirit rings had fully formed, their colors were actually yellow, yellow, and yellow. I realized it immediately. The God-given spirit ring automatically adjusts its age based on my physical limits. My body cannot yet withstand a 1,000-year spirit ring, so it temporarily stabilized at the most suitable level. It will grow stronger as my body matures. Finally, the external spirit bone. I chose dragon wings, modeled after the evil fire demon dragon. It wasn't until the following evening that I finally opened my eyes. The magnificent dark purple dragon wings slowly retracted into his body. It feels truly wonderful to grasp such power. Only one problem remains. How should I explain the sudden appearance of my 3 spirit rings and the transformation of my martial soul? I was pondering, Ma Hongjian's voice came from outside the door. Are you awake yet? Dean Flender is asking if you're going to the spirit fighting arena. Wait for me a moment. I got dressed and pushed the door open to step out. I happened to see Ning Rongrong running back to the girls' dormitory in tears. I walked up to the side of the group and lowered my voice to ask Ma Hongjian. What's wrong with Ning Rongrong? Ma Hongjian curled his lips. Just her spoiled young lady temper. The dean told her to run laps during the day. She went shopping in Soto City halfway through. The dean gave her a stern lecture for it. They almost got into a fight arguing just a moment ago. Immediately. In the original timeline, Ning Rongrong would have been crushed by Flender's harsh words tonight, eventually setting aside her pride to become nothing more than a support accessory for the team. That isn't entirely wrong, but I find it such a pity. She was meant to be proud and self-assured. So I turned to Dean Flender. You all go ahead to the soul fighting arena. I want to go check on Ning Rongrong. Oh, and don't forget to sign me up for a one-on-one spirit fight. Flender nodded in agreement. Now that someone is willing to take over this mess, he is naturally more than happy to oblige. Everyone left the academy, I arrived in front of the girls' dormitory. I pushed the door open a crack. Ning Rongrong looked up at me. Her eyes rimmed with red. I pulled up a chair and sat down across from her. She asked with a tearful, trembling voice, "Are you here to mock me as well?" I did not answer. I simply summoned my blue-silver gross, letting it gently coil around her wrist. Spirit ability, Tide of Life. Speaks of azure light flowed through the grass blades into her body, easing the numbness in her limbs caused by her weeping. Ning Rongrong sniffled, her voice dropping even lower. They all think I have a foul temper. Flender said I have a princess complex. He said I would bring shame to the 7 treasure glazed pagoda. I asked him, then what do you think yourself? He looked up. I want to change myself. I also want to fit into the academy. I looked at him. This so-called princess
is
complex
nothing more than never having been shortchanged by
Your
life.
pride is the confidence granted to you by the 7 treasure glazed
You
tile
were indeed
set.
in the wrong for slacking off during your training.
What you need to change is your lethargy and
But you
willfulness.
should never have cast aside your self-esteem and pride along with them.
even less should you become someone's appendage just to cater to
Have you
others.
ever considered that
Even a support type spirit master
can stand on their own to feet?
The word stand on their own clearly struck a chord with his deepest, innermost desire.
Yet,
The light in his eyes dimmed just as quickly. But I am merely a support type spirit master.
On the contrary,
So what if you are a support type
The
spirit
7
master?
treasure glazed tile pagoda's buffs work on yourself too,
Since
since
the
the
strength buff can be applied to you. Why can't your fists be more lethal? Since the speed buff can be applied to you, why can't your footwork be more agile? Everyone treats the 7 treasure glazed
as
tile
nothing
pagoda
more than a tool to buff others.
But why must its light only shine upon others? The room fell into complete silence. Ning Rongrong's eyes began to brighten little by little.
That's right.
I can use it myself too.
So why can't I conquer myself?
And then possess combat power. He became more and more excited
Suddenly,
as he spoke.
looked up at me.
How did you come up with these ideas?
Could it be that your blue-silver gross also has a similar effect?
I shook my head. That's not it.
My blue-silver gross is merely a healing type
My
martial
true
soul.
offensive capability lies in my second martial soul.
Ning Rongrong's eyes widened in an instant.
A second martial soul. I nodded. Having twin martial souls is no secret within the academy. There's no need to hide it. I stood up and pushed my chair back into place.
Take some time to process this yourself.
I'm heading to the spirit fighting arena
As I
now.
reached the doorway,
I channeled the life energy of my third soul
into
skill
a single blade of grass
and handed it to Ning Rongrong.
If you still feel unwell,
hold it in your palm and absorb its
before
essence.
pushing the door open.
I cast one last glance at him.
You are so young.
You should be striding forth with pride
to achieve what others deem impossible.
The lights of the Soto Grand Spirit Arena blazed with brilliance.
Slender patted me on the shoulder.
Get ready.
Your one-on-one spirit duel is about to begin.
The next match is Jujuking versus Tang San. And the match after that is yours.
Jujuking versus Tang San.
An agility attack system spirit master is naturally at a disadvantage against a control system.
The issue lies in the
master.
tactile feedback of the blue-silver
With
gross.
that thought in mind,
I walked over to Jujuking.
Jujuking. There are a few things I'd like to discuss with you in private.
Jujuking followed me to a secluded corner.
I didn't beat around the bush.
I suggest you forfeit your soul duel against Tang San.
Do you remember how I activated my soul skill?
When I was healing you yesterday. My blue-silver gross can provide sensory feedback.
Yesterday, I only entangled your
But
wrist.
Tang San is a control-type spirit
If you
master.
face him on the arena to secure victory,
He will inevitably use his blue-silver gross to restrict your movement.
I didn't finish what I was going to say next.
Jujuking's cold and elegant face turned pale bit by bit. She whispered,
I understand. Thank you, Kuai.
On the spirit fighting arena, it was time for Jujuking and Tang San to
Jujuking went
compete.
up and conceded immediately.
Tang San stood there, stunned,
when he returned to the spectator stand
and saw Jujuking and me return one after another.
His expression darkened instantly.
Ling Yan,
what did you say to her? She came here to grow stronger.
What right do you have to interfere with her?
Everyone turned their eyes toward me.
Daimu Bai also leaned in and lowered his voice.
Brother, she is my fiancée. You don't have feelings for her, do you?
I didn't take his joke.
I just looked at the others.
Mubai, do you know why all these years when I healed you, I mostly just distributed herbs to you? Instead of connecting with you directly using my blue-silver gross.
Because the blue-silver gross transmits tactile sensations.
If Jujuking and Tang San were to fight, there's a high probability that you would end up completely entangled by the blue-silver gross.
Could you accept it?
Daimu Bai quickly realized the implication,
His expression turning grim.
Tang San opened his mouth, but ultimately said nothing because he knew full well. For a control system spirit master to use restraints on an opponent is the most common tactic. I waved my hand dismissively.
All right,
it's time for me to head to the Soul Arena.
The spotlights converge upon the arena stage.
My opponent is a burly, brawny defense system soul master. His martial soul is an iron-armored
The
rhino.
moment
he lays eyes on me, he breaks into
again,
a healing system soul master like you
always crashing the 1v1 matches.
Don't hold back
For the
Give
thrill.
it your
referee
best
gives the
shot.
signal to
I
begin.
do
not summon my martial soul.
He charged forward directly using his agility technique.
In the spectator stand,
Tang San couldn't help but
didn't
ask,
you say he was a support type spirit master?
why is he also participating in the one-on-one
Ma Hongzhen
matches?
immediately retorted.
So your blue-silver grass is allowed to fight,
But Ling Yan isn't allowed to take the stage for
Flender
practice.
watched the stage and said indifferently,
He possesses twin spirits.
accumulating combat experience now
Will
surely come in handy sooner or
Tang
later.
San's voice had clearly changed.
He finally realized how similar our situations were. Yet, I reached level 30 before him. And my spirit ring configuration is even
The way
more
he looked at me
outrageous.
held a hint of wariness.
On the arena, after taking a few of my punches, the opponent paused and said earnestly, "Little brother, your footwork is quite impressive, but the gap in power is
The
simply
path of
too
a battle
vast.
spirit master is
I
not
steadied
meant for
my
you.
breathing, smiled, and said, "Thank you for showing mercy. Come
Big
to me
brother.
for healing in the future, and I'll give you a 20%
I
discount."
concede.
The referee announced the result. Iron Armored Rhino wins. Current record, 62 wins, 56
Blue Silver
losses.
Grass.
1 win, 157
I stepped
losses.
down
from the spirit fighting arena. Yet my heart felt no trace of sorrow. I never stepped onto that stage to win in the first place. I only need everyone to grow accustomed to the fact
spirit master frequently practices
so that when the
combat.
evil fire phoenix eventually makes its debut, it
won't
more
seem so
importantly,
abrupt.
I am certain that if I had used my evil fire phoenix spirit, that iron armored rhino wouldn't have lasted 3 moves. Returning to the academy at night, although Ning Rongrong still carried the pride of a young lady along the way, she no longer directed her thorns at everyone. Inside the girls' dormitory, Ziwu looked at her and asked, "Are you really planning to stay?" Ning Rongrong hugged her knees and smiled lightheartedly. It's
Yes,
actually
I
quite
am.
interesting here. Jujuking, however, wrapped herself in her quilt the moment she returned. Ziwu, looking indignant, recounted all of Daimabai's scandalous deeds. Ning Rongrong's brows furrowed tightly as she listened. He is truly despicable. Juking, are you really content to spend your whole life with a man like that? Jujuking fell silent. Since she was a child, she had been taught to accept
Unable
her
to
fate.
break
Free. Ning Rongrong suddenly grasped her hand. If there is truly no
Come
way
with me
out
to
the 7 treasured glazed
Sword
tile
Grandpa,
sect,
and
I will protect
Ziwu
you. Watched from the side, feeling quite intrigued. Rongrong, why do you seem like a completely different person today? Face flushed with a
Ling
blush.
Yan
Comforted me for a while. I've come to terms with it myself. As soon as the name Ling Yan was mentioned, Ziwu suddenly leaned in close to her. You like him, don't you? Ning Rongrong's delicate face turned beet red. The answer was already written in her eyes. Early the next morning, Oscar rushed to the training ground in high spirits. Dean, I've reached level 30. Flender waved his hand grandly, yet prepared. Tomorrow, Zhao Wuji will take you all to the Star Do Forest to hunt a spirit beast for Oscar's
That is
spirit
exactly
ring.
what
I have been waiting
for.
Just before everyone was about to disperse, suddenly spoke up. Dean, I wish to attach spirit rings to my second martial soul. Every gaze in the hall instantly fell upon me. Flender's expression darkened. Are you out of your mind? Attaching a spirit ring to your second martial soul prematurely. Do you have any idea how dangerous that is? I looked him straight in the eye. I know, but I want to become a battle spirit master. I don't want to spend my life standing behind others, waiting to be protected. Daimubai and Ma Hongzhen hurriedly tried to dissuade me, but I refuse to change my mind. I've made up my mind. Only when I hold the power in my own hands can I truly feel secure. Flender looked at me for a long time and finally sighed. The path you've chosen is yours alone. Don't come to regret it later. Tang San suddenly called out to me then, asking with great earnestness, why do your first 3 spirit abilities share the same name? The effects are quite similar as well. What spirit beast did your spirit ring come from? Can your spirit skill be used on yourself? I replied indifferently. They are both blue silver grass spirit beasts, so the spirit skills are similar. It can be used on myself. Tang San turned and left, lost in thought. I summoned my blue silver grass and crafted a few leaves brimming with life energy. Distribute them to Daimubai and take them with you. They might come in handy for tomorrow's spirit beast hunt. Not far away, Ning Rongrong leaned in to whisper in Jujuking's ear, Juching ... Why don't you go ask him for a few more pieces? Jujuking's face flushed slightly, yet she did not refuse. Just as I returned to my room, a sudden, intense surge of heat welled up within me, burning from the depths of my meridians all the way to my dantian.
Ever since my evil fire martial soul evolved, the evil fire demon dragon possesses a true draconic bloodline after all. It is far more domineering than Ma Hongzhen's mutated martial soul. If it cannot be suppressed, at worst, his meridians will be incinerated. Just as sweat began to bead on my forehead, a gentle knock sounded at the door. Ling Yan, are you free? It was Zhu Juking. I gritted my teeth and managed to force out a reply. It's not convenient for me right now. Come back a bit later. The footsteps outside the door did not fade away. He whispered in a low voice. Then I shall speak through the door. Thank you for what happened yesterday. Also, we are heading to the Star Doe Forest tomorrow. Rongrong and Ziwu would like a few leaves from your blue silver grass. Upon hearing her voice, the evil fire within my body flared up as if fanned by the wind. Zhu Juking growled, her voice nearly drowning out all reason. Come in and help me. Zhu Juking's voice reached Ling Yan's ears. Ling Yan felt as if his sea of consciousness had suddenly exploded. That uncontrollable agitation was magnified infinitely, threatening to consume him entirely. Ling Yan violently shoved the door open from the inside. Ling Yan's wicked and bewitching face suddenly intruded upon Zhu Juking's vision. Ling Yan, what's wrong with you? The young girl could clearly see that Ling Yan was enduring immense agony. Should I go and find a healing-type spirit master for you? You look so terrifying right now. Before Zhu Juking could finish her sentence, countless blue silver grass surged forth, instantly binding Zhu Juking tightly and securely. The young girl's figure was suddenly yanked into the room. Ling Yan pulled Zhu Juking into his embrace. Meanwhile, in the boys' dormitory, Ma Hongzhen looked at the blue silver grass leaf in his hand and said to Dai Mubai, Boss Dai, this is the life-saving artifact Ling Yan made for us. Dai Mubai nodded slightly. The kid is quite thoughtful. It wasn't in vain that we stood up for him so much in front of Tang San. Look, he clearly infused it with extra life attribute soul power. It's glowing with a distinct green light. Ling Yan was with me at a brother who has stayed in the academy for 6 years. His character is absolutely beyond reproach. We must help him pick some excellent spirit rings this time. Because Oscar didn't want to stay with Tang San. He was also in the dormitory at this moment. I envy Ling Yan so much. He even has a second martial soul to cultivate. What was that sound? Hearing the faint sound of sobbing coming from somewhere, Oscar stopped what he was doing, glancing at Dai Mubai and Ma Hongzhen. Dai Mubai didn't pay any mind at all while examining the vibrant green blade of grass in his hand. He said with an indifferent tone, It's just some wild cats in the back mountain, noisy as hell. Girls' dormitory. Seeing that Zhu Juking had been gone for so long without returning, Ning Rongrong looked toward Ziwu. Ziwu, why do you think Juking isn't back yet? I'm not sure. She probably has other things to discuss. Didn't he say Ling Yan helped him yesterday? Ziwu didn't think much of it, because her mind was preoccupied with wondering, once they arrive at the Star Doe Forest in 2 days, will Daming and Ming come to find her? Ning Rongrong leaned against the bed, a hint of disappointment clouding her pretty face. If only I had gone to find Ling Yan just now. The young girl pouted, clutching nothing in her hand. The blade of grass formed by spirit power furrowed slightly from dawn until dusk. At this moment, inside Ling Yan's room, Ling Yan gazed at Zhu Juking. I am sorry, my second martial soul possesses an evil fire. If I had not done that, my body would have exploded and perished. Zhu Juking's eyes grew vacant. She remained silent. I am well aware of your identity and your plight. Rest assured, I will take responsibility for you. As for the pressure from the Starluo Imperial family in the future, I will handle it for you. If you desire freedom, I will take you away. If you wish to prove yourself, I will help you grow stronger. From now on, you will no longer need to bear the heavy shackles of fate. Lin Yan spoke with deep sincerity and affection. Zhu Juking did not respond. At this moment, on the system interface, Zhu Juking's favorability has already reached 99. You needn't worrying about Mubai. When the time is right, I will explain everything to him. You don't need to carry any mental burden. Regarding Dai Mubai, Ling Yan did indeed feel a twinge of guilt, but things had come to this point. He could only seek a chance to make it up to him in the future. Dai Mubai seeks some benefits. Ling Yan continues to console Zhu Juking. Don't be sad anymore. I know it was my fault, but I didn't want it to end up like this If I hadn't done that, I would have died. At that moment, I had truly lost all my reason. And what about now? Zhu Juking suddenly speaks up. Ling Yan is stunned. What do you mean? Ling Yan could clearly feel her blushing. He already had his answer within. The next second, he activated his martial soul. Several stalks of blue-silver grass quietly emerged. Ling Yan channeled his life attribute soul power through the grass blades into Jujuking's meridians. Jujuking immediately covered her mouth tightly, not daring to make a single sound. Let's be together, Juking. Lin Yan delivered his most heartfelt confession. Ding. Jujuking's affection level has reached 100. Distributing the exclusive reward pack for Jujuking now. Please claim it later. Lin Yan cast a quick glance at the system interface. He was in no rush to open the reward pack. No, I've been away for too long. If I don't head back now, Rongrong and Ziwu might come looking for me. Let me treat you one last time. Lin Yan's voice was soft and gentle. He wrapped a blade of grass around her snow-white wrist. Before parting, Jujuking shyly spoke up. Wait, the grass. Ling Yan looked up, stunned. Seeing his reaction, Jujuking hurriedly explained. No, I mean, I came to ask you for some grass blades. The kind you gave Ning Rongrong yesterday. Ling Yan summoned his blue-silver grass martial soul. He crafted a blade of grass infused with life energy in the palm of his hand. Make a few more. Ziwu wants some too. Alright, is this enough? Ling Yan clutched a handful of blue-silver grass and handed it to Jujuking. That's enough. Jujuking took the grass blades and walked toward the door. I'm leaving then. As she spoke, a blush crept onto Jujuking's pretty face, and she turned to push open the door, vanished into the shroud of night. The room returned to its former silence. Ling Yan slumped onto the bed. He never imagined that after venting his carnal desires, his meridians would feel such profound relief. For 6 long years, he had constantly felt a presence within his body, a power that did not belong to him, until today. No wonder the fatty is so fond of the brothels. It seems now, there are only 2 possibilities for this. Never, or an infinite number of times. He opened the system interface. A pale blue light screen materialized, available to claim Jujuking's exclusive reward pack. Lin Yan hesitated no longer. System, open the gift pack. A brilliant radiance flashed across the screen. The contents were revealed. Jujuking's exclusive reward pack has been opened. Obtain the following items. Jujuking's exclusive martial soul talisman. 2. God-given spirit ring system version. 3. Storage spirit tool ring infinite space version. 4. Mysterious heaven infinite technique dual cultivation version. Ling Yan gasped in shock. Are the rewards really this generous? Spirit rings, a storage ring, and a cultivation technique to boot. It sounds even more formidable than Tang San's mysterious Heaven Palace. Below the list of rewards, there is a line of fine print. The Tiger Talisman's passive ability. The noble white tiger balances yin and actively yang, splitting the user into 2 beings, one good and one evil. It's a pity that they have already departed. Ling Yan turned his gaze toward the other rewards. A god-bestowed spirit ring is a top-tier treasure. And then, there are the soul tools. Ling Yan lightly touched the light screen with his finger. A pitch-black ring appeared in the palm of his hand. Plain and unadorned, it will serve perfectly as a storage vessel. He slipped the ring onto his finger. Ling Yan chuckled softly. As for this cultivation technique, Mubai, I was forced into this as well. But for the sake of the system's rewards, I'm afraid you'll have to suffer a little. Elsewhere, Jujuking gently pushed open the door to the girls' dormitory. Juching ... You finally returned. Ning Rongrong's voice drifted from the bed. If you hadn't come back and I were planning to head over to Ling Yan's place to find you, why were you gone for so long? Jujuking tightened her grip and recited the excuse she had prepared. When I went over this morning, Ling Yan was in the middle of cultivation. So I went to stroll around Soto City instead. Upon returning to the academy, Ning Rongrong didn't ask much, but instead showed concern for something else. What about those leaves? Did you manage to get them? Jujuking hurriedly pulled a handful of blue-silver grass leaves from her robes. The moment Ning Rongrong caught sight of them, she leapt off the bed and rushed over to Jujuking. Jujuking promptly placed them into her hands, keeping only 2 for herself. Ning Rongrong beamed with joy. As long as the medicine is here, Jujuking let out a sigh of relief. She walked back to her own bed. Ning Rongrong suddenly let out a soft exclamation. Why do you seem a bit different from when you left the dorm during the day? Jujuking's body tensed up. She turned her head to the other side. Something is off, Juking. You're acting a bit strange. Ning Rongrong took a few steps forward, leaning in close to Jujuking, and began to sniff at her. She had a nagging feeling that Jujuking carried a scent that didn't belong to her. afraid of being discovered. Zhu Juking shyly pushed her away. Ning Rongrong turned her head to look at Ziwu. Ziwu, don't you think Juking looks a bit different? Ziwu poked her head out from the bed. She began to look Zhu Juking up and down. Zhu Juking's face had already turned beet red. Where are your stockings? Ziwu's words were startling. She had immediately pinpointed the key detail. The two girls stared in unison at Zhu Juking's shapely, beautiful legs. Zhu Juking silently gripped the corner of her quilt. They got snagged on some branches along the way, so I just threw it away. Wait, you threw it away on the road. Ning Rongrong is shocked, realizing something is wrong. Zhu Juking dived straight under the covers, turning her back to the two girls. Anyway, I threw it away. I'm tired and I'm going to sleep. You two can chat. She buries herself completely under the quilt, refused to answer any further questions. Ning Rongrong walked suspiciously to Ziwu's bedside. Juking is acting so strange today. As he spoke, he divided the blade of grass in his hand into two parts. He handed one part to Ziwu. Ziwu, what if Lingyan finds out that we ... used his grass for something like this? Don't talk nonsense. How could he possibly find out about this? Ziwu hurriedly hid the grass under her pillow. That was all thanks to the life attribute spirit power within it. Ning Rongrong chuckled. You really are the knowledgeable one. Ning Rongrong returned to her bed. She tucked herself under the covers. Just as Ning Rongrong was about to absorb the energy within the blade of grass, she glanced toward Zhu Juking's spot. Juking, won't you give it a try? You'll sleep much sounder after trying it once. Zhu Juking did not speak. There was no reaction whatsoever. Ning Rongrong and Ziwu exchanged glances. They tentatively called out to Juking twice. She was fast asleep, letting out a faint snore. Ning Rongrong wore a peculiar expression. Ziwu explained with a strange look. Perhaps she was just exhausted from shopping. Ning Rongrong pouted in dissatisfaction. Seriously. She didn't even invite us to go shopping. Next time, I'll have Lingyan accompany me. The next day, the morning sun rose. The group gathered on the training grounds, led by Zhao Wuji, along with Lingyan and the other 7 students. They officially set off on their journey to the Douluo Forest. On the way, Lingyan quietly approached Zhu Juking. Juking, in a moment, I'll give you. I have something good to show you. Zhu Juking cast a wary glance around at the others. What is it? With so many people around, don't try anything funny. Lingyan curled the corners of his lips. Don't worry, I'll give it to you when we're alone. We'll likely be staying at an inn tonight. Come find me in my room then. A faint blush crept across Zhu Juking's lovely face. He asked in a hushed voice, what on earth is it? Can't you just tell me now? If I told you now, it wouldn't be a surprise. You'll find out when the time comes. I'm sure you'll love it. Lingyan wore a meaningful smile. He wanted to press further, but Ning Rongrong suddenly stepped between them. Hey, what are you two whispering about? Zhu Juking hurriedly turned her head away. Lingyan also wiped the smile from his face. Saying nothing more, he returned to the boys' line. Ning Rongrong looked puzzled. Juking? What did Lingyan say to you? Why do you two seem so strange? Ning Rongrong's intuition told her that the two of them definitely had a secret. Don't talk nonsense. He was just asking me about cultivation matters. It's not what you think. Adhering to the principle that silence is golden, Zhu Juking chose to hold her tongue. From that moment on, the atmosphere within the team turned subtle. Ning Rongrong kept casting wary, glancing looks at Zhu Juking. Zhu Juking also deliberately avoided her gaze. In the blink of an eye, evening arrived. Zhao Wuji led the group to find an inn near the entrance of the Douluo Great Forest. During the journey, they encountered the Kanghui Academy. Ma Hongzhen and Dai Mubai provoked them with sharp words. A fierce battle ensued between the two sides. It ultimately ended with Zhao Wuji's one-sided crushing of Yi Jikyu. Lingyan did not interfere with this at all. In this world where strength reigns supreme, however, they chose to stir up trouble, had little to do with him. The evening breeze drifted into the inn room. Lingyan toyed with the 5 talismans rewarded by the system in his hand. Suddenly, there were 2 soft knocks at the door. He knew it was Zhu Juking. He stepped off the bed and opened the door. A dark silhouette darted inside. Hurry, close the door. What are you standing there dazed for? Zhu Juking shot Lingyan a glare. What on earth is it? Being all mysterious like this. Lingyan chuckled softly. It's definitely something good. Close your eyes first. Stop messing around. I snuck out. If Rongrong and Ziwu find out I'm gone, they'll surely come looking for me. Zhu Juking felt a bit uneasy, afraid of being discovered. Fine then, Lingyan opened his palm and held the 5-element talisman out to Zhu Juking. Hold it and carefully sense the power within. The young girl took the talisman with a look of suspicion, gazing at the white tiger emblem upon it. She had no choice but to clasp it in her hand. In an instant, a brilliant radiance burst from her palm. Her nether civet martial soul manifested of its own accord. 2 yellow spirit rings pulsed rhythmically, beginning to slowly merge and then pull apart. The system provided no explanation whatsoever. Everything would have to be discovered by Zhu Juking herself. After a long while, all energy fluctuations returned to calm. Zhu Juking's beautiful eyes shimmered with brilliance. She was the first to speak. I can feel that each of my spirit rings will evenly share the total sum of the each increase. Subsequent spirit rings will follow the same rule. Right now, both of my spirit rings are roughly just under 600 years old. The power of my first spirit ability has increased, but the power of my second spirit ability has decreased. Lingyan frowned slightly, and before long, he finally figured it out. I understand now. Balancing the energy within one's body. So that is how it should be interpreted. In other words, if the quality of your subsequent spirit rings is high enough, the age of all your spirit rings will reach the 10,000-year level, or even the 100,000-year level. Balancing the energy within the body refers to the age of the spirit rings, and perhaps even the age of the spirit bones. What on earth is this? Where did you get this from? Zhu Juking's expression grew a shade more solemn. She had originally assumed that Lingyan summoned her simply for that kind of business. Never did she expect there to be a genuine treasure one capable of adjusting the age of her spirit rings. This meant that the further she progressed in her cultivation, the greater her advantage would be over spirit masters of the same rank. From his very first spirit ring, it started at the 10,000-year level. How is one supposed to fight that? Lingyan chuckled. That is not important. From this moment on, it belongs to you. There is one more thing. Try to actively activate its energy with your spirit power. Zhu Juking tentatively channeled her spirit power into her palm. Then she looked toward Lingyan. Whoosh! A brilliant white light erupted. The flash left Lingyan momentarily blinded. He suddenly felt the ground beneath him vanish. As the white light faded away, Lingyan finally saw the scene before him clearly. The original Zhu Juking had split into 2 separate beings. One with curly pink hair, her eyes filled with innocence and kindness, radiating an aura of obedience and docility. The other with long black hair, her gaze cold and detached, looking at Lingyan with a sneer of contempt. Brother Lingyan, why do I see 2 of you? The docile version of Zhu Juking looked on with panic in her eyes. Lingyan chuckled and looked at the little black-skinned wildcat. Immediately after, she unleashed her nether civet martial soul. Spirit power began to surge within the little wildcat. Cat ears and a tail emerged simultaneously. Sharp, razor-like claws sprouted from her fingertips. Lingyan picked up the secret manual. The 3 of them cultivated together. Shortly after, Zhu Juking left the room with a blushing face. To her surprise, she found Ning Rongrong eavesdropping at the door. Zhu Juking was struck with horror. Lingyan also looked over at the sound. Oh my god, you haven't been eavesdropping here all night, have you? Zhu Juking's heart tightened instantly. Everything has been exposed. Ning Rongrong collapsed onto the floor in an instant, inside Lingyan's bedroom. Ning Rongrong was already sitting on the bed, supported by Zhu Juking. It's not what you think. Please, Rongrong, let me explain. Zhu Juking held Ning Rongrong's hands in hers, speaking with a guilty conscience. At that time, Lingyan's evil fire flared up. It was his second martial soul. I just happened to appear when his evil fire erupted. So I ended up using my martial soul to help him calm it down. Anyway, I really didn't mean to steal Lingyan from you. How long have you 2 been together? Ning Rongrong's teary-eyed, wide eyes turned toward Zhu Juking. Zhu Juking's gaze flickered away, avoiding her eyes. Just yesterday, it was just yesterday. Right when you told me to go ask Lingyan for the herb leaves. Zhu Juking lowered her head in silence. This silent admission was enough to make Ning Rongrong burst into a loud, wailing cry. Why did I have to be the one to send you there? Why am I always so lazy? Zhu Juking said with a troubled expression. Could you please not tell everyone about this just yet? We haven't figured out how to explain it yet. You know, I am from the Douluo Imperial family. We keep saying we this and we that. And here I am, the only outsider, right? Ning Rongrong's voice rose a few octaves. Juking, you know perfectly well that I like Ling Yan. This isn't Juking's fault, it's mine. Ling Yan spoke up. Shut your mouth, Ning Rongrong snapped sharply. Why are you defending him? You turned around and got cozy with Juking just like that. You men all like her type, don't you? Ling Yan awkwardly rubbed his nose. It doesn't really have much to do with her figure. It was mainly because the situation was urgent at the time. Was the situation urgent last night as well? Ning Rongrong's beautiful eyes were fixed intently upon Ling Yan. Ling Yan struggled for a long moment, unable to find the right words to explain. Ziwu's voice suddenly rang out from the doorway. Why are you all in Ling Yan's room? Ziwu, Ling Yan and Zhu Juking turned to look at Ziwu standing at the door. Their faces betrayed a mix of panic and confusion. Ziwu walked into the room. I woke up from my nap and realized all of you were gone. What are you all doing here? Zhu Juking thought quickly on her feet. Rongrong is homesick. She's crying until her body aches. You came to find Ling Yan to restore your stamina, didn't you, Rongrong? Zhu Juking leaned into Ning Rongrong's ear and whispered. I beg you, Rongrong. I'll explain it to you later. Just play along for now. My relationship with Ling Yan cannot be exposed yet. Zhao Wuji led the group as they trekked through the Stardow Great Forest. Ling Yan followed at the very back, walking alongside Ning Rongrong. The light screen displayed the favorability levels of various mission targets. Ziwu's favorability toward the host, 40. Zhu Juking's favorability toward the host, 100. Ning Rongrong's favorability toward the host, 80. Ling Yan curled his lips into a smile. I didn't expect Ning Rongrong's favorability to jump from 61 to 80 just like that. Something's going on. At the front, Zhao Wuji let out a low shout, looking toward Zhu Juking. Zhu Juking, go and scout ahead. Zhu Juking followed closely behind Ling Yan. She let out a startled cry as if jolted awake. Zhao Wuji spoke up. There is movement to the west. You are an agility attack system battle spirit master. Go and scout the situation. Zhu Juking completed her spirit avatar transformation. With a few nimble leaps, she vanished into the treetops. It must be the coxcomb phoenix snake approaching. Ning Rongrong said to Ling Yan. You haven't taken your eyes off Juking even for a second. With so many people around, don't talk nonsense. Ling Yan curled his lip. Hey, men, Ning Rongrong rolled her eyes. How many days have you even known each other? You can't even keep up the pretense of being proper anymore. And to think I actually believed you were quite innocent before. Alright, let's talk about this when we're alone. Ling Yan averted his gaze. He felt a twinge of guilt when meeting Ning Rongrong's eyes. Soon, Zhu Juking returned to the team. It was a crimson snake. With a massive fleshy crest atop its head, it was hurtling toward them at high speed. Tang San pondered, scanning through the spirit beast. Encyclopedia he had studied over the years in his mind. It must be a coxcomb phoenix snake. Ling Yan was the first to speak. This is a rare snake type, speed-oriented flying spirit beast. Oscar, it is perfectly suited to be your third spirit ring. You are truly lucky. Oscar was overjoyed. He looked toward Ling Yan. Ling Yan, how did you even know that? You really know so much. Prepare for battle. Ling Yan ignored Tang San, whose eyes were dark with gloom, sweeping his gaze across the group. Nubai is incredibly fast. Wait for the right moment and neutralize him immediately. Tang San, as a control system spirit master, you must not let everyone down. Fatty, once the snake is immobilized, hit it with everything you've got. Ling Yan will be in charge of the tactical planning. Daimubai and Ma Hongjian have no objections. Only Tang San felt that his thunder had been stolen. He had clearly figured out the information himself as well. His teacher once said that a control-type spirit master is the brain of the team. Yet Ling Yan spoke with such convincing logic. It left him feeling quite displeased. But the phoenix tail crest serpent was moving at great speed. A rustling sound echoed through the jungle. The sudden turn of events gave Tang San no time to retort. Subconsciously, he followed the instructions given. It's here. Get ready to strike. Ling Yan let out a low shout. First spirit ability, blue-silver entanglement. Second spirit ability, white tiger light wave. Tang San used his blue-silver grass to control it. Daimubai unleashed a heavy punch. The speeding coxcomb phoenix tail snake didn't even have time to react. It was caught in a relentless combo. Quickly, provide support effects for the teammates. Ling Yan looked toward Ning Rongrong. Ning Rongrong rolled her eyes at him. 7 treasures glazed Tao Pagoda emerged. First, power. Second, agility. Immediately following was Ma Hongjian's Phoenix Fire Line. Ziwu and Zhu Jiqing had yet to make a move, when the others had already subdued it. Seeing that the phoenix-tail coxcomb serpent had lost its ability to move, Ling Yan reached into his storage ring, pulled out a dagger, and handed it to Oscar. Hurry! Stab it directly into its meat crown. Ling Yan knew that Xiao Tianxiang and Meng Yiren were still on their way. To avoid any trouble, we must act as quickly as possible. Oscar, pushed forward by Ling Yan, stood before it. Stab him now. If he dies at this moment, it will become the spirit ring for Fatty. Oscar hesitated no longer. He drove his blade straight into the flesh coffin. Metal pierced through flesh and blood. Ling Yan let out a sigh of relief. He did not want to give Tang San even the slightest chance. A purple thousand-year spirit ring emerged from the corpse. Just as Oscar was about to absorb the spirit ring, two figures stepped out from the jungle. Damn it! We were a step too late after all. The one who spoke was none other than Xiao Tianxiang. Seeing that the creature she had chased so arduously, the cockatrice, had become someone else's spirit ring. She was consumed by fury. You bunch of wretches! How dare you pull this off right under my nose? Stealing a spirit ring from my granddaughter. You must be tired of living. To think someone would snatch the spoils of battle right under our noses. 2 yellow, 3 purple, and 6 1 spirit black rings emerged alongside his serpent staff martial soul. He was clearly ready to strike. Ling Yan cast a glance toward Zhao Wuji. Teacher Zhao, it's your turn. In the clearing, Zhao Wuji received the plea for help. He offered a crooked, via bear martial soul, possess, yellow, yellow, purple, purple, black, black, black. 7 spirit rings surged forth, sweeping across the arena with the overwhelming pressure of a spirit saint. Xiao Tianxiang's expression shifted instantly. A spirit saint? He shielded Meng Yiren behind him. His face turned grave. Zhao Wuji took a single step forward. You claim we stole your spirit beast. Why don't you just claim that the entire Douluo forest belongs to you? Xiao Tianxiang's expression turned grim. She was wary of Zhao Wuji's strength. A spirit emperor against a spirit saint. The odds of victory were slim, unless she called for the dragon duke from afar. Tianxiang. May I ask for your name, Excellency? Xiao Tianxiang cupped her hands in a salute to Zhao Wuji. Zhao Wuji was stunned as he looked at Xiao Tianxiang. Xiao Tianxiang, the snake matriarch of the Dragon Duke and Snake Matriarch duo. Zhao Wuji set aside his playful demeanor. It is rumored that the Dragon Duke and Snake Matriarch never act alone. One is a spirit emperor, the other is a spirit Douluo. Together, they possess a spirit fusion skill comparable to that of a titled Douluo. Considering the Dragon Duke was likely nearby, he withdrew his killing intent. He then cupped his hands in a respectful return salute. Zhao Wuji. Lady Chao, this spirit beast was hunted down by our collective effort. How did it become your granddaughter's spirit ring? Xiao Tianxiang realized that Zhao Wuji was wary of the Dragon Palace. The tension eased. He pointed his snake-headed staff at the phoenix-tail-crested serpent. It has a wound on its abdomen. You will see it if you flip it over. Daimu Bai flipped the serpent over, revealing its belly. Everyone indeed saw on the abdomen 2 wounds that matched the snake's staff perfectly. Zhao Wuji frowned and turned to the eldest sister. Things have come to this. What do you think? The two whispered to each other. Ling Yan noticed Meng Yiren, and seeing her bewitching, exotic beauty, he couldn't help but steal a few extra glances. This was caught by Ning Rongrong nearby, who leaned in close to Ling Yan's side. A low, threatening whisper. If you dare to harbor any feelings for her, I'll have Grandpa's sword kill you. Ling Yan was stunned. Ning Rongrong's small hand had already pinched his lower back. Stop, stop, stop. What are you doing? Ling Yan winced in pain and broke free. Ning Rongrong rolled her eyes and let out a cold snort. On the other side, Zhao Wuji and Xiao Tianxiang had reached an agreement. It counts as a favor owed by Zhao Wuji. The coxcomb phoenix snake belongs to Oscar. The handover is complete. Meng Yiren shot Oscar a fierce glare before being led away by Xiao Tianxiang. Zhao Wuji looked at Oscar and said, "Hurry up and absorb your spirit ring. You should thank Ling Yan. If he hadn't urged you to finish it off early, things definitely wouldn't have been this simple later on." Oscar grinned at Ling Yan. Thanks, brother. I'll make sure you have all the big sausages you can eat from now on. If you repay kindness with ingratitude like this, don't blame me for not letting you absorb your spirit ring. Daimu Bai and Ma Hongjun burst into laughter. With this, Oscar's spirit ring was finally settled. By evening, Oscar had completed his absorption. Next, it was time to find a spirit ring for Lin Yan. Lin Yan only needed to wait for Ziwu to be taken by A Ming tonight. The gap left by the abductions has vanished for a time. The problem will be resolved. The evil fire demon dragon martial soul will surely bloom with brilliant radiance on this continent. Zhu Juking, Ning Rongrong, and Lin Yan volunteered to keep watch. In the darkness, Lin Yan and Zhu Juking leaned against each other. Ning Rongrong leaned in closer. What exactly is your second martial soul? Lin Yan replied. What about the evil fire demon dragon? Ning Rongrong retorted. Is it that impressive? Does it have any offensive capabilities? It's slightly more powerful than Ma Hongzhen's. Then why aren't you affected by the evil fire? I haven't been cultivating my second martial soul for the past few years. I only just decided to attach a spirit ring to it these past 2 days. The two exchanged questions and answers. Lin Yan's hands were wandering restlessly. The original plan didn't include Ning Rongrong for the first night. Who would have thought he would get involved too? Which means you can also become a battle spirit master and possess formidable combat power. Ning Rongrong moved closer toward Lin Yan. Lin Yan held Zhu Juking a little tighter. You could say that. What exactly are you trying to say? Ning Rongrong looked at Zhu Juking and said earnestly, Juking, you're snatching my crush away. I can keep this secret for you. Zhu Juking's heart leapt with joy as she lowered her voice. Really? Thank you so much, Rongrong. Don't get your hopes up just yet. Ning Rongrong's tone shifted abruptly. I have conditions. Ning Rongrong blushed. I want Lin Yan to be my boyfriend. Both of them froze instantly. Ning Rongrong continued. The Seven Treasure Glazed Hell Sect has its own rules. Every spirit master of the Seven Treasure Glazed Top must have a powerful battle spirit master as their partner. Lin Yan's martial soul is simply formidable. I just happen to like him. If you refuse to agree, I will tell Daimu Boy everything about you too. Zhu Juking looked at her in disbelief. Wrong. Ning Rongrong replied with righteous indignation. If it weren't for the fact that you happened to run into Lin Yan yesterday while his evil fire was acting up, I'm going to confess my feelings today. I can wait my turn in line. Regardless, I'm determined to make Lin Yan my boyfriend. We're even now. Is that even how things work? Lin Yan couldn't help but snap. Shut your mouth. If it weren't for your inability to restrain yourself, the situation wouldn't be this complicated. Ning Rongrong retorted sharply. Ning Rongrong simply flipped over and straddled Lin Yan's waist, cupping Lin Yan's cheeks in her hands. Don't you dare dodge. If you dodge, I'll have Sword Douluo kill you. Ning Rongrong closed her eyes and leaned in to kiss Lin Yan. Lin Yan braced himself with his hands on the ground. Zhu Juking watched the two of them with a burning gaze. But she did not make a move. Lin Yan closed his eyes, accepting his fate, when suddenly something's wrong. An angry roar pierced through the darkness. The three of them shuddered in fright. Lin Yan and Ning Rongrong tumbled over in a disheveled heap. Rise quickly. The campfire in the camp is lit. Daimu Bai rushes out. Teacher Zhao, what happened? Zhao Wuji summons his martial soul. Everyone, get out of the tents, quick. The sound of crashing trees echoes from the horizon. The earth trembles. A massive figure, like a small mountain, emerges. It is actually the king of the forest, the Titan giant ape. Zhao Wuji unleashes his martial soul avatar. They took a defensive stance to cover the retreat. However, the Titan giant ape reached out its massive hand directly, snatching Ziwu from the crowd. Various attacks rained down upon its giant palm. But how could mere grand spirit masters hope to pierce the hide of a 100,000-year-old spirit beast? Ziwu was taken away. No, Ziwu. Tang San let out a roar of anguish, turning his gaze toward Oscar. Oscar, I beg you, help me. Give me your sausage. I need a mushroom sausage to go after Ziwu. Oscar channeled his spirit power. Third spirit ability, flying mushroom sausage. The sausage appeared. Tang San swallowed it without hesitation. Wings sprouted from his back. He took off in the direction of the Titan giant ape. Lin Yan looked at Ning Rongrong anxiously. Rongrong, give me a speed boost. Quick, 7 treasures glazed pagoda. Emerge, second ability. Lin Yan dashed into the dense forest. He vanished in the direction Tang San had taken. Lin Yan has given chase as well. Ma Hongzhen looked on in astonishment. Zhao Wuji cursed. Stop your blathering. Little conjure up a few more sausages. On the other side, Lin Yan had not run far before he summoned his external spirit bone, the dragon wings. Following closely behind Tang San, she prayed silently in her heart. He must not be allowed to obtain the 8 spider lances. Deep in the forest, the Titan giant ape sprinted wildly, dragging Ziwu along. Tang San's mushroom sausage effect wore off, relying on his ghost shadow perplexing track to leap forward. Ming, let's stop here. Ziwu realized that Tang San had vanished from sight. She spoke to Ming. Ming came to a halt. Place it on the ground. Sister Ziwu, how have you been faring in the human world? Big brother and I have missed you dearly. Ziwu smiles. I am doing quite well, but I cannot stay away for too long. Ming shows some resistance. Was it that human following you earlier? Would you like me to take care of him for you?
Ziwu explains.
Those human spirit masters are my friends. Please don't be so hostile. Ming scratched his head. Ziwu changed the subject. Protect me while I cultivate. I happen to be ready to condense my third spirit ring. By the way, ask your subordinates if there are any fire tribute 1,000-year spirit beasts that have lost the will to live.
Who needs one.
A spirit beast that doesn't want to live anymore, serving as a spirit ring for a human.
Somewhat
Let
puzzled.
me ask about it.
Ming relented.
He summoned a hellfire hound. So you desire a fire tribute spirit ring. Then I shall grant you one. Meanwhile, Ling Yan crouched upon a tree branch. Seeing Tang San below preparing to use his clear sky hammer to deliver a fatal blow to the man-faced demon spider, he suddenly descended from the sky. First spirit ability, Dragon Fist. The blazing flames slammed into the back of the man-faced demon spider, rendering it momentarily immobile. Ling Yan and Tang San were both stunned. He hurriedly retracted the clear sky hammer into his body. Ling Yan shouted, "Go after Ziwu quickly. Leave this to me." Tang San hesitated no longer. Ling Yan, I'm sorry for what happened before. Thank you for turning and running into the jungle. Ling Yan looked at the dying man-faced demon spider. Second spirit ability, Rock Splitter. Third spirit ability, Rock Ring Blast crushed the man-faced demon spider to death. A purple spirit ring emerged. Ling Yan rummaged through the carcass and pulled out a piece of a shield-shaped external spirit bone. The external spirit bone is finally mine. Tang San has lost his 8 spider lances. I wonder how far you will be able to go in the future. The next day, the morning sun rose. Ziwu had already returned to the team. Everyone wore a solemn expression. Teacher Zhao, I want to return to the 7 treasure glazed tile. I will have Sword Grandpa come and search. He will surely be able to find the spirit eye. Ning Rongrong said with a tearful voice. Last night, Tang San and Ling Yan gave chase. All they found was the corpse of the man-faced demon spider. Yet there was no sign of the two of them. Rongrong, don't be like this. Jujuking comforted her. Ling Yan will surely be fine. The leaf he left behind signifies that he is still alive. Daimu Bai said, keep searching. They searched through the entire night. To no avail. Ziwu muttered to herself. Are you all only searching for Ling Yan? Tang San has not returned either. He felt deeply remorseful. Several figures suddenly appeared not far away. The Dragon Duke and the Snake Matriarch. Zhao Wuji watched as the Dragon Duke held a half-dead figure in his hand. Panic surged within him. The Snake Matriarch signaled the Dragon Duke to set the person down. Brother Zhao, this is one of your people, right? Ning Rongrong rushed out in excitement, looking at the blood-drenched figure, crying with a heart-wrenching wail. Ling Yan, oh, the Snake Matriarch sighed. We managed to barely save his life, but his lower body has been devoured by the beast. Jujuking's body went limp, collapsing onto the ground. Ma Hongjun broke down. It's over. What are we going to do now? Oscar was overcome with grief. Was it worth it for a brother? Daimu Bai clenched his fists tightly. I will find the best healing spirit master for my brother. Zhao Wuji could not bear to watch. Ling Yan, you lad. How am I supposed to answer to Flender for this?